Before you pick a split, answer this honestly. How many days did you actually train last month when life was normal? Not your perfect week, your real week. If your split needs 6 gym days and your life keeps giving you 3 or 4, you are not on an advanced plan. You are on a restart loop. Match the split to the week you can repeat, not the week you wish you had. We'll sort full body, upper and lower, push-pull legs, bro split, and hybrids by who they actually fit, and the one most people copy lands lower than they expect. By the end, you'll know what fits 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 real training days. You'll also know the signs that your split is too much for your life. Here's the rule that matters most. Weekly volume does most of the work. Frequency is mostly about how you spread that work out. And for muscle, training a body part at least twice a week usually works better than only once. Not because the calendar is magic, because you can spread good sets across the week instead of cramming them into one day. Start with the split people call basic, even though it fits real life better than almost anything else. Full body works because it lets you train everything in just 2 or 3 days. Chest, back, legs, shoulders, arms. Everything gets trained more than once without asking you to live in the gym. That matters. Training a muscle at least twice a week is usually better than only once, and this split makes that easy on a short week. There is a catch. If you cram too much into one session, it gets too long. Later sets usually get worse. Performance drops. But if your real week gives you 2 or 3 reliable days, full body covers everything cleanly. So this is the obvious fit when your schedule is busy or your week changes a lot. If that sounds like your life, full body is not a downgrade. It is probably the smartest place to start. Be honest with yourself here. Are you really a 3-day lifter trying to run a 6-day split? If you do have a stable 4th day, the next option usually feels better fast. Upper and lower is the boring answer that keeps winning for normal lifters. You train upper body twice, lower body twice, done. That gives you solid frequency without making anyone's session ridiculous. And once your weekly work is matched, frequency matters less than how well you can actually do that work. This setup makes it easier to keep the sets good. That is the real advantage. Shorter sessions usually keep the later sets higher quality. You are less likely to hit that point where the volume still looks fine on paper, but the sets are clearly worse. So, if you can train 4 reliable days, this is the first place to look. It is simple, it is balanced, and for a lot of people, it just keeps working. Now, that sounds like an argument for training even more often.
Which is exactly why people jump too fast to push-pull legs. This is the split a lot of people want because it looks like what serious lifters do. And yes, push-pull legs can work very well. It spreads work out nicely, sessions stay focused, recovery between similar movements is usually manageable. If you can train 5 or 6 days, it is a very solid setup. The problem is how people actually use it. On 3 days, you often hit each muscle only once that week. That is a bad trade if your goal is size. On messy 4 or 5 day weeks, the rotation gets uneven. Something keeps getting pushed back. Chest gets trained, pull day slips, leg day gets skipped or pushed into next week. Now the split looks organized, but your weekly work is all over the place. A pretty plan you only complete part of the time loses to a simpler one you finish almost every week. Missed sessions cut your weekly work, and that slows growth. So push-pull legs makes sense when you can really support it, 5 or 6 reliable days, or a rolling schedule you actually stick to. If you only have 3 solid days, this is usually the wrong call. If this just saved you from forcing push-pull legs onto a 3-day week, that is worth a like. Now for the split that people defend for the opposite reason. Chest day, back day, arm day. Simple, familiar, and for most natural lifters, lower than people want to admit. The main issue is frequency. A classic bro split trains a muscle, then leaves it alone for 6 or 7 days. 11 weeks of training abs 5 days a week grew them more than 1 day a week. That same idea carries over here. More chances to train a muscle usually beats just one. So right away, the default setup is working against you if your goal is size. There are exceptions. If you are advanced, recover well, and know how to make big body part days productive, you can grow on it. And if you love that style and truly stick to it, that matters too. Preference counts. But for most beginner and intermediate lifters, this is not the first smart choice. It often gives each muscle too few good chances to grow across the week. So this lands as a preference split, not a default recommendation. If you already know you do well on once-weekly body part days, fine. For most people chasing size, it stays low. Send this to the friend who restarts a serious split every Monday. So if one option asks for too much and another trains each muscle too rarely, the useful middle ground is the hybrid. This is where a lot of people should end up once they stop treating splits like teams. A hybrid just means you keep the main rule, then build the week around your real week. Train each major muscle at least twice if you can, keep recovery normal, build around the days you actually own. That could be full body plus 2 upper focus days. It could be upper and lower plus an extra back or arm day. It could be a rotating setup that still makes sure nothing gets ignored.
The goal is to build a week you can finish, recover from, and run again next week. And here is the twist. For a lot of lifters, the best split is not one famous named split at all. It is a hybrid built around their actual schedule. This is why hybrids work so well for uneven schedules, changing work weeks, and people who already know their calendar moves around. Rigid plans fall apart as soon as work, family, or schedule changes start cutting into training days. A hybrid gives you more room to keep the week on track. If you like fitness explained this way, stripping popular plans down to what actually works in real life, consider subscribing. Now, how do you know you picked too much split for your life? The signs show up fast. You are always sore in the same places, lift, stall, or drop, sessions keep getting shortened, one missed workout turns into a whole body part disappearing for the week, you keep saying you will make it up later, that almost never ends well. One useful thing here. Day spacing matters less than people think. Consecutive days versus spaced out days came out basically the same when total work and recovery were handled well. So stop obsessing over perfect Monday, Wednesday, Friday spacing. The real issue is whether your whole week works. And missing a week here and there is not the end of the world. You do not lose everything because life happened once. The real problem is repeating that pattern so often that solid months never get a chance to add up. So here's the simple way to choose. Lock in your honest number first. 2 or 3 days, start with full body. 4 days, start with upper and lower. 5 or 6 days, push-pull legs starts making sense. Uneven schedule, look hard at a hybrid. Bro split only makes sense if you already know you do well on it. Then earn your way up. Choose the simplest split that fits your current week. Only move up after 6 to 8 stable weeks of completed sessions, steady performance, and recovery that still feels normal. Move from full body to upper and lower because your week proved it can handle more. Move from upper and lower to a hybrid for the same reason, not because your ego got bored. Pick your split by the week you can actually repeat. If a plan lets you train your whole body with good sessions, recover, and come back next week, it is a good split, even if it looks less advanced. So here is the short version. Full body fits 2 or 3 real training days. Upper and lower fits 4. Push-pull legs fits 5 or 6. Bro split is mostly a preference choice and lower for most people. Hybrids are often the smartest answer when life gets messy. The right split is the one that survives your real week. That's the one that gets you enough good work, enough recovery, and enough months in a row for your body to finally look like you lift.